What about investing that money to building a system that stops it?
NDIS has evolved in the last 12 plus years. Well, 2012, 13 plus years, and very fast and very quickly. And the most recent changes also. And things are still changing. And the most recent address by the Minister for NDIS at the press club, he talked about a few things. What do you see the future of NDIS looking like? What are the big ticket items which are keeping you awake? And what are the opportunities you can see in that space?
I think I just need to preface and say, as a country, we actually are very lucky to have this scheme. I've gone overseas. I went to America recently, and I spoke in a bar somewhere and just ended up speaking to this couple, and they're telling me how their child has cerebral palsy. And I was like, wow, what's that like here? And I remember the dad telling me he's working 3 jobs, barely sees his wife and child. They have to cover all the costs, the stress they were under. They were like, this is one night we've probably had off in 12 months, and we've had to, plan so much. Like, we've got both our parents there and this person available, just so they can have a night off. And, then they're like, what's it like in Australia? And I'm like, well, we have this thing called the NDIS, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling them about it, and they're just like, your government pays for services? Like, they couldn't fathom it. And that really kind of gave me a really bit of a perspective and went, do you know what? It's not perfect. We actually are lucky to have it. We're the only, I think, country in the world that has anything like it. I think there's 60-odd countries that are apparently coming to Australia to learn more about it. 30 years ago, we were still institutionalising people with, mental health and disability. So, Australia as a nation, we're very far ahead, compared to other parts of the world in supporting people with disabilities. So in saying that, it has problems. We all know that. I think it's so frustrating because I think everyone on the ground can actually see the potential this scheme has to be such a phenomenal program that can be taken across the globe, and it's just not being executed right. When it first launched, it was rushed. We're seeing that again with this Kids Thriving Kids program, rushed. The way, we'll have it rolled out in a year. So, this feels familiar. Everything that the government is trying to do to reduce the cost, because they are ballooning, it can't continue the way it is. The economy will collapse. The NDIS will implode. Like, it can't keep going the way it is. But the lens that they're looking at through, where it's just constantly cutting plans and costs to participants, everything's reactive. The $100 million fraud task force. Okay, a task force to investigate fraud. What about investing that money to building a system that stops it? That would save us $365 million a year. Why aren't we looking at other ways to reduce these costs that aren't just constantly cutting participants' plans?